Okay, okay, we ready and rock and rolling, Chris Cole. What's going on, baby?
What's going on? What's going on, T?
All right, it's all good. It's all good. That's good. And everybody,
Awesome,
welcome to the
awesome.
Roundtable Talk Show with Chris
Yes,
Jones,
indeed.
host, the co-host, Dr. Catherine Campbell and Terry Busby, and our guest host, Dustin Harris. And I think we
Absolutely.
got some great topics tonight. We're going to talk about segregation again, and excuse me, and a whole lot of mess that's going on around.
Yes, indeed.
But
You know it.
before I let you guys go with your show,
Turn it down a little bit, Tony.
I just realized that
Thank you, sir.
I was reading I was reading an article here, and let me pull it up here. There we go. Let me pull it up. I want to make sure that you guys get it. Um, they are. I was reading in Facebook where they are censoring Jasmine representative, state representative Jasmine,
Who is they? You know that's what they always used to tell us. Who is they?
and because she marks.
Don't brush over that. Who is they? And it's not they. It's a him. Who is
Oh,
him?
whatever, yeah, that's true. Our state representative Randy Weber
Hmm.
has
Hmm.
initiated to censor Jasmine Crockett, state representative Jasmine Crockett, for calling the Texas Governor Abbott
Abbott.
wheel, wheelchair. I mean,
Yeah. Hot
Hot Wheels.
Wheels.
Well, hell, he's been Hot Wheels
She
ever since I've been around. I mean, it's all I know his name
she
was.
also said he was a hot mess.
Well, he is a hot mess for a man the fall for a tree to fall on the man and paralyze him to have so that
See,
a
see,
person
hold on,
that
wait,
has
wait.
no
Good
empathy.
evening, everybody. Welcome to the Roundtable Talk. Of course, I'm your host, Christopher Jones. See, because Tony got my mouth watering for this food that's on the table today. So let's get to it. Of course, I'm sure my co-hosts, Dr. Catherine Campbell and Perry Busby, will definitely hop in throughout the evening. And of course, like mentioned, we have our guest co-host Dustin Harris on with us in this discussion. We have some great topics for you this evening, and of course, like I said, Tony done already watered my mouth for this particular topic, a national topic, and that's not so national. It's local because it's our state representative, one of our district representatives, actually, that is initiating the censorship of Jasmine Crockett. And so um, we're trying to figure out, like, where were you a few months ago, a few weeks ago? Have you hosted a town hall for your constituents here? Many of us probably didn't vote for you, Mr. Weber, but you are definitely our elected representative. And um, we have some questions, especially some of the things that y'all voted for since this new administration has taken seat, as well as some of the rollbacks that you also voted for in a heavy industrial area like Beaumont, Port Arthur, Orange, and others. And so, yeah, Mr. Weber, thank you for raising your head out of the shell to censor somebody. See, I told you Dr. Catherine Campbell was gonna pop in here. But you had the audacity to want to censor somebody when we have a criminal as an attorney general. Make that make sense. I'm still trying to figure that out. But yes. So what I want to know from my panel on this evening, my crew rather, I want to know from the crew, like, where is Randy Weber? Of course, we're gonna get to our topics that we mentioned, but where is Randy Weber? Go ahead. Somebody tell me where Randy Weber is.
You was talking about where's Randy? Who is Randy?
Wow.
I'm dead.
Like I don't know
Oh
who
my
this man
goodness, Miss
is.
Cat, I
Okay,
so
we need you
died
to
to hear
log
this.
off and go and Google.
I ain't never seen
All
this man on a
we
ballot.
need,
I ain't voted for this man. Who
yeah,
this?
we need Randy Weber to be, well, he's a Republican. So you, especially if you're voting in primaries, you won't see him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so
So,
he one of them people when they do the different ballots.
well, I mean, if you vote straight ticket in some races, you wouldn't see his name.
Now, I've
Um,
noticed when you go to the polls, if you don't tell them you're a Republican, you have a totally different ballot in Beaumont.
especially, well, it
That's
should
only in the
only be in the
primary, dear.
primary.
I want to vote for
It should
everybody.
only be in the yeah. Well, you should be able to do that in a general election, but in primary elections, they ask if you're a Republican or Democrat because they want you to vote in your particular party's primary.
But I'm
And
technically
so,
neither, and there's no option.
well, hey, for the independents that's out there, Miss Cat, what happened to your camera? Don't be laughing.
I turned it off.
She
I gotta
died.
fix my baby something. I'm coming right back.
Oh, okay. I was going to say she died.
But you know he killing me over here, right?
Yeah, I know it. I already know it. I already know it. So I mean, like, I'm just really wondering, and I'm glad you
No
asked that
cabbage.
question, Dustin,
I know
because
no beef. You want cabbage?
the reason you don't know who Randy Weber is intentional. You know that, right?
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Regardless to his party affiliation, the reason you don't know him is because he hasn't made himself privy to you and many others like ourselves. But um yeah, I don't think he's paying attention to what's important. And I mean, again, all of Texas know Hot Wheels is Hot Wheels. So
Yeah, that's Hot Wheels from way back.
when he was the attorney general, right?
Look, ever
He was
since that
Hot Wheels
man
back
showed up in
then.
a wheelchair, he been Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I agree. I had to think back to when, yeah, I agree. I agree. So one of our topics for tonight, to our listeners and our viewers and again the crew, um, I definitely, what I wanted to do tonight was not really a topic, so to speak, like a subject, but I definitely wanted to communicate something from our communities, right? And this isn't just a Beaumont, Texas issue. Um, this is it's not a black communities issue. This is a national issue, and it's coming from many individuals in our youth, of our youth communities or young communities, right? Even some of our young adults, let's say, excuse me, 28 and under, right? Let's say 28 and under. Um, Many of those individuals are, and I quote, "We are sick of it. We are sick of it." And how is it okay? This is what they want to know, and I'm gonna open the floor to everybody, even the chat. But this is what they want to know. How is it okay to overlook and not consider more for our youth? Also, what we do and do not do now affects more than right now. Keep that in the back of your mind as you think about the question, how is it okay to overlook and not consider more for our youth? That's my question. And y'all go at it. Unless I need to expound a little bit more.
No, cause my thing I give them. You ever been to a church that only preach towards older people?
Mm.
It's the same thing. Look, I get it. We need the elders to be around to teach, to show the way, but eventually you have to talk and give the young people something to do. What you gonna hold their hand to their elder?
Or restrict them until they're the elder.
Basically,
Or until
oh,
the elder passed out.
because it's always that. Oh, you got to wait your turn. Well, how long is that wait gonna be?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what they want to know. That's what many young individuals want to know. If they have to wait their turn, why aren't we doing right by them right now?
Because the
Why
money
haven't
don't
we
kill.
done right? The who don't care?
The money,
Oh,
the money of the city don't kill because they owe. It's simple as that. They old and rich, so they're like, well, no, I don't really have kids like that, so why should I care about other people's kids?
Miss K,
Yes.
what you think? Why the young people sick of it? And why you
Why
feel
are the young people what?
why are the young people sick of it? And you kind of alluded to it today when you were at council, by the way.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
I said you kind of alluded to it when you were at city council today, by the way. Especially when you and Miss Wilmaretta at council said we are sick of it.
We are. We are. The thing is,
Tell me what you're sick
I'm
of.
gonna start at the end where
Tell
Dustin
me what
left
you're sick
off.
of.
I say all the time. I think every week I'm sounding like a broken record, so that's why I said I'm not gonna say it this time. But since you asked, we don't train up behind ourselves. That's always the problem. Pink people have a tendency to have dinner with their children and they talk to them and they teach them along the way, right? But we have to work, right? So we don't get a chance to spend that type of quality time with our children. Uh-oh, did I just okay. I keep losing the but anyway, we don't connect with our children in the way that we should, and then when we do have the opportunity to connect with them, we just want to play, you know. Uh, but the pink people are constantly training their children, you know. We can't just die on the scene like Dustin said. Like Dustin said, we have to give the young folks opportunity. Right now, Jasmine Crockett has a way of catching our attention with her snappy comments and stuff, right? But she's telling the truth, right? But if politics get, become like that, will we trust everybody who talks in that manner? You know, but again, I say, we have to. Well, I'm gonna start right here. We have to uh find out for ourselves, study for ourselves, right? So that we can know what the truth is. Hmm.
True. It's. I think it's simple things that should be done. Like take your child to vote so they can see what the process is. Talk.
Explain to them what you're voting about, what you're voting for, because it really does matter how you live, where you live, because, I don't care. that you buy your house, right? You I mean, do you ever truly own it? You still have to pay taxes on it.
Exactly.
So you need to let your kids know that, you have to contribute to society,
Yeah.
right? For you to live in it.
Everybody just want the kids to go to school, get some good grades, and don't get in trouble. That's all you need.
No, that's not all you need though.
But let society tell you that's all it is. Go ahead, go to school, get some grades,
Right.
and then when you get with that, go to college, get some more good grades, and then get a job, work until it's time to retire.
And you're gonna live
Yep.
happily ever after.
You
No.
you gonna get a job. You're gonna be able to do everything you want to do financially, and then you just move on.
Not
Right.
so. Don't believe the hype. Huh. Come on.
And I just find it hilarious when I be seeing people. I think what really break it down is other people telling people how to raise their kid. I don't like what you're doing. You shouldn't tell them that. Why not? Now, if you could give somebody an actual good why, maybe they'll listen to you. But that just, because I don't think it should be that way. Mm, mm,
What works in your house may not work in my house.
exactly. But that's the way of the world now. The village then disappeared to a bunch of individuals.
And that's a sad thing that the village has disappeared.
It
Because there
has
was a time when we had a common goal,
shoot,
and we stuck together.
heck, do people even have family reunions anymore?
I didn't hear you.
I'm just saying, do people even have family reunions no more?
That's why they marrying their cousins. You know it's the truth.
I'm
But half of
backstage
them doing that on
boxing.
purpose.
Ass out.
Stop.
You can look up the map. There's a statistic about people marrying their cousins on purpose.
You're absolutely right. Indians do it intentionally. They marry their firstborn, married the firstborn of the sister. Yeah, they married their first cousin. Yeah.
But it is rampant in the United States, and you wouldn't think it would be.
Okay, what y'all talking about now?
Man.
I have to step away. What y'all talking about? Wait,
I don't know.
well, I'll tell you what.
We didn't hear no echo till you came on here too. So don't even start with your Walmart microphone.
Hey, that's not mine. But look, but can I tell you what, guys? Let me ask you this. Tell me what happened today at Beaumont City Council meeting.
I
What was
missed
the
it.
main topic that was discussed today?
Well, one of the main community comments from today or from the podium was in opposition to the claims of by the fire chief, I'm
Disgruntled
sorry,
fire
by
union.
the fire union,
Come on.
firefighters union
Why take you so
representative.
long to spit it out? Come on, what we just said the fireman union is one of
No,
the
it's the
fireman union is going to
firefighters.
hold the city council
If
hostage.
you know what happened, why you gonna ask the question?
Because I'm being
That
messy.
part.
I'm being messy. I want to know
Right.
what's
Sit
going
your
on.
mess
I
down and let me
not
tell
trying to be
people what
messy,
was
but
going on.
I want to know what's
Now,
going on.
like I
Listen.
was saying before I was rudely interrupted by Tony, to tell the people and the listeners what was going on the round table talk is the main public comment for this afternoon was in defense to the claims of the firefighters union representative of no um confidence in the fire chief Earl White and his job, or being able to do his job.
Okay, but I'm confused. I'm
We
really
know.
confused. I'm confused because just last year, a year before last, he was the fireman union, and the
Hey,
firemen
y'all meet up.
said
Please,
that he
y'all
was
meet
the
up. I
best
hear
thing
clacking.
besides before a slice of
If
piece
y'all
of
don't
bread.
mind, mute yourself, because I hear clacking. It's like background noise. It's not feedback though.
That's not mine.
All
I
right, there
know
we
it's
go.
not mine because I turned my mic off.
All right, it's good. We good. Now, what you said? What you was saying? How he gonna mute his mic and then make that make sense?
What he's trying to get at is what I'm just saying. So just just a few years ago, he was put up there to be chief with all this high praise and
Well,
everything.
wait, no, wait. See, what we're not understanding is and this is where Tony was going. 2 years ago, when our now city chief of fire was about to be placed as interim city manager, the same union representative and current president, said, "Oh no, we can't let him go. He's such an asset to the department. I mean, he's the best thing since like sliced bread."
Mm-hmm.
And what he thought was going to happen, because our chief is also a member of the union and also a firefighter or a fireman of our city. I should have said firefighter because he actually fought fires, whereas the president of the union drive fire trucks. There's a difference between who's on fries and who at the register, as well as who is management. And so, not to degrade anyone's service as a firefighter, um,
But you
but
have to be
we
licensed to
aren't.
be a firefighter.
Exactly. What we aren't going to do is downplay our certified and qualified fire chief as incompetent in his position as fire chief, because you're not getting what you think you deserve in contract negotiations whenever it comes to the city, as well as the individuals that's rolling over into your pensions. Did you hear what I said? It's based on the amount of numbers that this individual, as current president, can get under the union and create a larger pension for them, as well as other senior firefighters. So yeah, that's what that is.
So does he even determine if they get a raise or not?
Who is he? The
The chief.
firefighters union?
Yeah, the chief.
No, no.
So
The
why
chief
you
can
mad at him
ask.
because they can't get a raise?
The chief can right. The chief can ask and put it in his budget, right? In his annual budget request
Mm-hmm.
whenever the fiscal year starts to wind up, right? But what he gets is based on management and the agreement of council whenever they present the budget and the members of council vote on that budget.
But I still have a problem with that. I really do, and I'm sorry. I have a problem with that. And to my understanding, the Beaumont Fire Union did a vote of no confidence, meaning that they feel that the fire chief, Earl White, is not capable of doing his job. Now, Earl White is one of the most respected men in Beaumont, Texas that I know. And he needs our community to support him as well. But my point is, the truth is that the Beaumont, the police and the fire union wants to run a city and endorse their candidates that will do what they want them to do or them to say and represent them. But the problem is that only 70% of the public safety, which is the firefighters and the police officers, works in the city of Beaumont.
Yeah.
And they don't even pay taxes in Beaumont.
Right, because they
They
don't
pay,
live in Beaumont.
they getting paid by us and taking the money somewhere else, and they want to dictate on what the city should do for them, hold them hostage. I got a problem with that. Now, I've got some. I kind of sent some over to Dr. Campbell today earlier. Is that I want to make sure you understand that they rejected a 14% increase over 3 years, when all city employee and staff only got 2% increase. So they actually originally asking for a 24% increase at the beginning of the negotiation. That's not adding up. That's not, if you do the math, that's not adding up right. So how
Which
does
is more reason why we can't give our other departments the especially the funds they need, but the man hours that's needed. Um, I mean, we can't. I mean, it's so much we can't do. We can't catch up on our infrastructure because of the fire department being so top heavy,
right?
or our finances being directed toward fire and EMS and police.
Right,
And again, just like I said at council, and many others said at council today, while their services are appreciated for the amount we pay them according to state level pay, yeah, we pay them more than what the state is, the national or the uh state level is.
right, because if the city approved the contract, the city public safety
But wait,
budget.
let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Let me ask y'all if y'all remember Becky Ames was the mayor at the time. If y'all remember when they proposed to merge fire and EMS. Y'all remember that? And in the midst of that, I told them at that time, I remember saying to many in our community, you're not going to be able to battle off the union unless you elect some strong individuals. And what's happening? Top heavy, I mean, and they're imposing it. It's like they're pressing it on you. Like you can't get out from under this because you have firefighters that don't want to ride on the ambulance, because you cannot attract adequate individuals into the system. You cannot groom adequate individuals within to the system. And it's not just because people can't pass a test, but who wants to be a part of a union or an organization that's looked at like that ain't nothing but a group of good old boys?
Right,
Who wants to be a part of that? I'm gonna say it again. When Kyle Hayes and everybody else had proposed to do the EMS, I told them very well. Be mindful how these contract negotiations are going to come out from here on. Because now you just gave the union extra leverage. And guess who else jumped in? the police department. That's all one union, y'all. I
Right,
mean, of course, Beaumont Police Officers Association is something else, but that's all one union, y'all.
right. But I want to get back to the chief, and I want the people of Beaumont to understand where I'm coming from and why I'm staying on this subject. Because if they don't go and do what they're supposed to do, take care of business in the May election, we won't have any of these guys around.
This is true.
Hold up, because let me tell you something. I want you to remember this, you guys here. Excuse me. You remember 2 years ago when they just before they got ready to hire the city manager right now, Kenneth Williams, the new city manager, and they was going to
Mm-hmm.
hire interim city manager before they hired the city manager that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff
Mm-hmm.
Newsom. You remember Jeff Newsom? He reached out to
Mm-hmm.
all 7 city council members and told them not to consider Earl White, Chief Earl White, because he was too valuable and needed in the fire department. Earl White was one of the 4 founders. Now, what happened within those 2 years? Because you can't get what you want. We be paying them 15%
Oh, I
higher
was gonna
than
say
the
you
state.
want us to answer that? You want us to
They
answer that
already
because we
getting
see
paid.
it.
Look, they already getting 15% higher, pays 15% higher than the state of Texas average in a city of 115,000 people. Come on, talk to me, people.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Well, I mean, again, when you're not at the table, you get Nate, and not in a good way.
Ooh.
Well,
I'm just being serious. But again,
Whoa, now.
just like
That's
the
all I
subject
can
topic
say.
says, we sick of it.
well, paying
We
the
sick of it.
wages that they're asking for can cause other services to be cut, and we can't afford it. We can't afford to have those other services cut. So,
Look,
what does that
either
have to do?
services are gonna be cut or they're gonna continue to increase services on us. Especially if the city or the current elected has not instructed the city manager and his team to find us some money that's not in the pockets of the people.
True. I
I'm
think
I'm just saying.
that the fireman union is taking advantage of the situation because the average firefighter makes over $100,000 with overtime. Hell, the county commissioner only make $112,000, and he have over 40 employees. Is that making any sense?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And like I said today, it's majority of the senior firefighters who are not satisfied with what negotiations or contracts that were brought before them. And the reason is because majority of these senior firefighters are up for resignation or retirement.
Then
And
retire.
so why not go, why not go big or go home? If I can't glean some more money from the citizens of Beaumont and I do not live out here, why not go big? And that's what's happening. We are watching our firefighter union manipulate the system and not in
Mike
our
Getz said
favor.
it best today. Did you hear him?
Hmm.
He said we gave you what you wanted, and you still not satisfied. Go home.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say it just like that, but that's what I heard.
I
What
would
you
have said
said?
it
That's
that
what
way.
I heard. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. If you're not satisfied, then all right. We didn't offered you the best. Not to mention you already getting the best. You're the you're the top heavy paid city or I mean organization or utility in the city.
You getting the most,
You're getting the most. Just like I said earlier, you getting
and you
so much
still
we
not
can't even take care
satisfied.
of ourselves.
All right, listen to this. Check this out. ExxonMobil and Valero, some of the largest refineries in the United States, do not have the benefits that the fire police department has, the union has. Valero get 6 sick days a year, 14 days vacation, and after 5 years, they get an extra week. After 8 times calling in, you get up on a program that you have to work a year straight. And if you continue to call in, it's ground of termination. But the fire department gets unlimited sick leave,
Work 8 days out the month.
15 days a year of vacation, in addition to a personal leave based on the years of service and personal leave. And that can carry out year to year. Damn, what else you want? Our DNA?
Mil- Military don't even get it that good.
They
Thank you.
want to get paid to stay at home
Yes. And half of them calling in sick anyway.
anyway.
So,
Yeah, they're using the hell out of that PTO, which
oh
then
yeah.
strains the junior and sophomore firefighters and the other dedicated senior firefighters. Oh,
And
this
that's
is a
why
meet
they're
and
over
eat
budget
day.
and overtime.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. No, no. Now we do need them, but we don't need them that damn bad.
No, once again, we need to train up behind ourselves.
That's
They
right.
should have a program in school.
Right.
Yeah, that part.
Right.
They need to have a program in school. I mean, do some agility or something. Have those kids do something where they're strength training.
Right.
Because I mean, you got to have that to be a fireman. But
Mm-hmm.
they've taken PE out of school. It's not mandatory anymore to be a part of your credits. So now they're just a bunch of lazy. Mm-mm.
And not only that, y'all.
And they can't
Um,
pass the written test either.
right, but not only that, y'all. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we have some fit firefighters, but when we see the person driving the truck big as all I do,
That part.
There's a lot of
makes me
fitness tests
wonder.
need to go around.
I was about to say, how consistent are we with our fitness exams?
They say it's supposed to be once a year.
Bro, I was about to say,
Well, I'm gonna
active
say
duty, active duty service members, that's at least 6 months. Every 6 months
Every
you
six
do
months to a year.
yeah, every 6 months you do, and it depends on what your job is in the military based on the how much you're gonna have to be as physical and be able to endure and pack over your body weight. I mean, of course, right? But shouldn't that? I mean, I don't know, y'all. Just like I said about how I think police officers, if they make an infraction, should be charged just like UCMJ. You want to disobey the rule that you know is rule, then I'm article you one time or maybe 2 times. And the third time you article, then you out. And I'm still gonna take money out your check.
It
There's no
says
repercussions behind this. And Chief said there is repercussions, but they can't flex their muscle because they're so under in manpower. So what we got to do, being that our chief gave us a directive, what we have to do is just like Miss Cat said, reach back, exercise with these kids, go jogging with these kids, take them, have them, you know, do some physical exerting exercises.
In the country, Chris, uh, they have volunteer firefighters, right? They
Right,
should
right,
have those kids, you know, in a position that they can start learning the equipment, you know, along with the agility training, right? So that when it's time for them to go to school and take the test, they can pass it because now they know the equipment, they know somewhat of the job, they can put two and two and make four, right? And they can lift up 10 pounds, or however many pounds it is that they need to lift, because
right.
now they have exercised those muscles to get ready, to be ready instead of having to get ready when it's time.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we sick of it, and we ain't doing this no more. Y'all lucky we got the elders on the line. Again, thanks everybody for watching and listening. We welcome you all. Perry, welcome, man. I see you tipped in, man. While we was in heavy discussions.
No, just listening, enjoying the conversation. Uh,
Absolutely.
I guess coming in, I don't blame the firefighters union. They are just like any lobbyist group,
Give us an
you
inch,
know.
we'll take a mile every time, huh?
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess the interest. I guess what will be fascinating is more or less how those candidates they have contributed to, which we've yet to see, how they respond, because we all know that, money talks. Let's not be naive about that. But I guess the one thing I would say is,
Hold on, brother. Wait. I know
city
you not in
council,
Beaumont. I know you not in
yeah,
Beaumont. So
yeah,
the way the discussion went while when it turned over into the questions from the chief, oh it was written all over over their face. You ask me. Those that don't want him there, it was written all over their face.
Uh-huh.
Even in that, again, prior service military taught us to read body language. All in
Hmm.
their body language, you
Yeah.
understand me? Their questioning even was to the point to where, yeah, whatever, whatever. Um, I'm endorsed by the firefighters. But how many times, Perry, have we been in our community encouraging people to get to the polls and telling them that everybody that's endorsed by the firefighters union ain't always the best person?
Well, hell, all they're going to do is offer you some signs. They
well,
can't vote.
well,
They can't vote. 70% of them don't even live in the city.
we all but gave them that flex because in their minds they felt like they determined the mayor in 2021 and in 2023. So again, they just flexing. My thing is, I agree with Chris. I mean, I would focus is not on them. Our focus is on what kind of leadership are they going to deal with. And it sounds to me like, I mean, love them all, but that's the game that can't shoot straight.
Oops. What I be saying? Uh.
Watch out,
You know, I
Tony.
mean, and I just have to ask you know, Tony, do you feel like Beaumont is stagnant or close to stagnant?
Very stagnant.
Absolutely.
Miss Catherine, do you feel like Beaumont is stagnant?
Absolutely.
Dustin,
They keep it that way. The powers that be keep it that way. That money, yeah.
Dustin, do you feel like it's stagnant?
Stagnant ain't the word. I feel like they went backwards.
Here is the results of a study. A recent study is called reflective leadership. It says that the closer a city government body closes in on the age of 62, the more stagnant it becomes. They are not looking for anything new to build to the city. They are looking to keep the city managed because at 62, you not looking to take on any new projects if you don't have to. Guess the average age of our current city council. The average.
Oh,
What do you think is the average age of our current city?
60.
70.
63.
The average age is about 60. 65.
Average age.
They
Miss
look
Catherine's
way,
right. The
they
average
all look
age
way
is
past retirement.
59.2.
Wow.
59.2. And I don't care how you rearrange these cards on this Titanic.
This sinking ship, you said?
It's still the same. It's still the same. You know, I looked at the ballot. There's only 3 candidates on this ballot under the age of 60.
That's right.
AJ.
Yes, sir. You're right.
3. Hell, we can't.
LaDonna
We talking getting them on a fire truck. We
and
can't
me.
even get them. We can't even get them into city council on the ballot.
And we don't have anybody ready to go in. How about that? I'm gonna stay right there.
Because you doubt no one is preparing no one to come under.
No one is preparing
And then,
anybody to
and then
come
we
in.
want to use, and then we want to use this weak ass argument talking about experience matters. The experience has got us here. And if you feel like this is the good spot, is that the experience you want to run on?
Hell, we can't even get organizations together. No, I don't even go there.
Don't even go there. That's so far out. That shit's so far out. Man, come on. Just
I'm going to find the AED for you, Chris. Here.
Okay, because you know I'm about to pass out over here.
I'm
I done
so
muted
dead. Right.
this live so many times till it's not even funny. Man, I done screamed like 4-5 times. And you know tomorrow my birthday. Tomorrow my birthday.
Every week is your birthday.
Every day this month.
We
Every
said
day
he was
this month.
celebrating till the end of the month.
Every week is his birthday.
Yeah, every
It's
week,
been mine
every week
too.
in March,
Mine
every
too.
day. Yep, mine tomorrow, and my brother's is the day after tomorrow.
That's
I'm
right.
telling you, the Aries is heavy up in here.
2 weeks ago, it was his birthday. He celebrated his birthday 2 weeks ago.
31 days of March, man. Don't be
Last
mad at
week
me.
was on here, his birthday. I wished him happy birthday. Now I'm here again on the 3rd week. You want to wish everybody birthday?
It's my birthday, man.
It's right.
What is you mad? 'Cause
March
you don't celebrate
26th.
March? I celebrate all of March, man.
Well,
And the
anyway,
26th is the actual day, but yeah, all of March from the 1st to the 31st,
let
and
me ask
probably
y'all
on the
something.
1st.
Let me ask y'all something. Since I got
What's
you guys on there, are y'all ready for segregation?
Man, look, I was just
It's
about to
coming.
say, is segregation again?
I don't think it could go back to segregation.
Man, look, no,
We
okay,
too
okay,
far
so
deep. We too far deep. Too far deep.
that,
Man, do
I
you
mean,
know?
so you would believe, so you would think, right?
Yes.
So we would think. Are we prepared as a collective?
Right.
Will we expect to see businesses and other spaces segregated again, like white water fountains, colored water fountains, Asian water fountains, Iranian water fountains, immigrant water fountains? Is it going to be segregated spaces again?
Well, do you know there is 46 million African black people that live in this country? That's bigger than most countries. That's larger than most countries. 46 million. And you think that we be in this position that we in right now?
Well, the position we're in right now is intentional. I do want everyone to understand that systematically, we are in this situation intentionally. I don't care how we look at it, whether we assume Shaniqua and them is the most recipients of food stamp. That's perception, and that's what they want you to perceive. And as you perceive that, it becomes true in your community, right? Not all over the place, but just in your community. It becomes true with those individuals that you hang around, and they just so happen to have a Shaniqua that's always on some type of government assistance, never doing right, or want to do get off of them, you know?
Yeah,
But again, that is a condition. That is a systematic condition imposed intentionally.
but do you know what we have? The power that we have?
We
But we don't
do.
exercise it because
We do.
of
We exercise it every day. You know why? Because
Ex
we are the
Target.
consumer community. We are the consumer
we was the
community.
biggest consumers.
We are the consumer community.
We are the
So
biggest.
we in it every day. We're moving in our space every day. Every single day we move in our space. And that's the thing that made it go from segregation to integration. Because when we were moving in our space, we were creating riches and wealth in our spaces, right? You
Right?
weren't allowing me to go across here and to go across there. And if I was across there, I had to be home before the street lights come on. And it's not because I was a kid. So yeah, I mean, I didn't have a choice but to go to J and J's Automotive. I couldn't go to White's because it was White's for a purpose. I couldn't go to get my tire changed at White's. It was it wasn't just the last name of the people. It's the people that they chose to serve. So I'm gonna ask you again. Do you think we are ready and prepared as a collective for segregation? Miss Cat, go ahead.
I think some of us are. I do believe that should it come to that,
Mhm.
huh? If it comes to that, then uh those of us who have stayed ready won't have to get ready. Yeah.
Especially those that have
I
been
I
taught
think
some
I do believe
information.
that those of us who have been trained, we know how to train our own and steer our own in the right direction. Those of us who have been. Now some of us try to act like we don't know, but when it's time, they'll step up.
Yeah, okay, okay.
I'ma
What
keep hope
about
alive.
yes, yes. So what about because I remember last week Tony when he told me happy birthday, he told me also last week that he experienced segregation and integration. And of course, Miss Cat, you agreed, and I'm sure Perry, as one of our senior members, is also aware. And I'm glad to have the perspective of our elders, not only on this show, but in our lives, right? And so what we have come to identify, y'all, and Dustin, correct me if I'm wrong, that not everybody that has silver hair in our community is worthy of elder.
Oh yeah,
You
there's
could
some
be
dumb
the
old
old
people.
folk, you could be the see, I didn't even get it all the way out. You could be the seniors, you could be the old folk, and then you could be what Dustin just said.
Mm,
But
What did Dustin say?
there's a bunch of dumb old folks out there.
Plenty, plenty
Mhm.
of
They
plenty,
ain't they ain't mature. They just got
plenty,
older.
plenty. You
oh
know,
wow. Oh wow.
you know. I
Still
think
doing the same dumb stuff.
I
Hmm.
think maybe I'm about 10 years older than you guys.
I'm
Well,
only
Perry,
40.
I'm about 10 years older than Perry, and
Oh my.
yeah, and again, I will say this
Oh
that
yeah, that's right. You're born in 55.
I appreciate, you know, I really do appreciate today that the livelihood that we have today, because what we had to go through, that I witnessed, growing up in the 50s and 60s. Um, we we didn't we had to drink out of different water fountains and restrooms. We had to go in the back of the restaurant to get our food. I mean, black people really the first people who invented drive
Drive
through
throughs.
drive through window, because we had to go through the drive through to get, because we couldn't go inside and eat. We couldn't go in the front door. But then again, I witnessed in 1966, 65, 66, that we was able to go inside, the front door. And that was we our forefathers that before us, that walked and marched and sacrificed, to so that we can be able to have the life that we have today, because those are the ones who fought and got knocked out and kicked in the behind, and
Kill.
news didn't get to us like it is today in real time. News got to us through the Jet magazine, or and a week later, and so it didn't affect us as much. But once we got it to the point we got educated on what was going on, what we needed to do, it circulated, and we was able to, fight. I remember going to football games, and we had to, uh, 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 at the concession stand, we just couldn't go up to that front of that concession stand and get a bag of popcorn. That's right. And the white controlled the concession stands. But guess who was the biggest consumers? We were.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I
So
go back to
so
Beaumont.
you
I go
don't
back to
think that
Beaumont.
you don't think that said that it would be as segregated as it was revealed to you all?
Yes, we was in the deep south.
Right.
Texas is deep south. We had segregation. Look at, we had Bada with 3, 4, 5 miles to the east of us.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So
Right.
we was in red cap county right here in Jefferson County, and it was very fierce. We had policemen. We had black policemen. Did you believe that? back in the 50s and 60s. But they couldn't. They could arrest us, but they couldn't arrest the white. They couldn't arrest the white boy. I mean, they walked the sidewalk. They didn't have cars. But this is the things we have to go through. I take the city. I take the district. The two districts. I take the two districts. You had Beaumont Independent School District. You had a South Park School District. The resources, the revenue for those districts came from the African American schools. I remember going to Port Arthur to a football game at around maybe about 3, 4, 5 years old. And all the blacks had to sit on one side of the stadium.
Regardless of what team you was going
Regardless of
for?
what team, two teams played and they played on the same, we sat on the same sides. And on the home side was probably 25 whites. That's right. And that's the way it was, I think, until 1964 in Port Arthur.
Wow.
That they allowed them to move over to the other side, to their home side.
So what you saying, Tony, is that people ain't gonna lose out on the money just because Trump talk about he gonna segregate.
Hell no, they ain't gonna lose out
Man,
on the
no,
money.
hell no. I don't care how you look at how Trump tried to bring you back to segregate, because he's taking everything away from us. We're gonna survive as a black man, a black woman. We're gonna survive as a black people. We're gonna survive. After all what we've gone through and still here and still making it, ain't
Well,
nothing they can do to us. They
I
can
got
take
a little
anything they want
pushback
to take.
though. I
We're
got
gonna
just a
suffer a
little
little bit,
pushback.
but we're gonna make it.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it.
That's inevitable. But I got a little pushback. Y'all might make it.
Y'all,
Tony.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
make it.
y'all might make it. No, listen, I'm talking about your age group. I'm talking about y'all might make it, right? Perry's age group, Miss Cat age group, we might make it as Gen X, right? We might make it
I don't know about that.
because of listening to some of the stories that y'all gave us. Some of us,
Right.
I didn't say all of us. Some of us might make it because there are some of us that did sit at the feet of our elders and our grandmothers and great aunts and
Right.
different things like that and listen to not only listen to some of their stories, but also engage with our great uncles and our grandfather, showing us how to, gut fish and fish, period. Grandma showing us which herbs in the garden or in the yard, period, that you could and could not eat, right? So, like, a lot of that information, a lot of that knowledge, y'all got it more than we got it.
I tell you
And
something else.
the generations but after us don't have that. I mean, and some of them are parents, y'all.
You talking about the last generation?
That
Like
ain't
I
the
said
last
before,
one. Don't be
the
calling them
last
people
generation
out.
is a lost generation.
Why you calling people lost? Because you didn't put your hand in them? Because you didn't help mold them? Because you didn't give them information? Why y'all call us lost? Why y'all call that
I didn't say
generation
your
lost?
generation. I didn't say your
No,
generation. I
I
said
mean, listen,
the
our
last
future
generation.
is depending on our future is depending on that generation. And if you continue to speak us lost in that generation,
I did
lost
not.
shall we be.
I'm not saying your
Time
generation.
out, time out, time out, time
I'm
out.
saying the last. I'm talking about the
Time out, Tony.
X
Time out,
generation.
time out, time out, time out. Chris, don't take everything so personal. Okay? If
No.
there's a generation that's after you. There
Yes.
there
There's
there
two
there are
after
there
me.
are parents that are 25, 22,
hmm
you know,
hmm
and I think that's the generation that Tony is speaking of.
Well, wait, y'all. I went to school with 15-year-old parents. I was going to school with parents that were 18, 19.
And they grew up really fast. And you're 45 or 46
I'm
tomorrow.
45. I'll be 45 tomorrow. I'm an 80s to
By
the mark,
45
but
tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So and yeah, you sat at the feet of wisdom. Okay, but there are some that are 22 now
And
that
don't
don't
have
have
them
that
feet.
same wisdom to sit under.
Nah,
Right.
this is why I said
Right.
they're
So
a
that's
lost.
what I believe that's what
This
Tony is
is called
speaking
a
of.
lost generation. They have not been not educated.
I,
They have
but
not been taught. Didn't sit at the feet of they didn't sit at the, grandma, when grandma died and grandma moved away, grandma's now 39 years old. Some grandmas are 33 years old.
Ooh, man.
All right.
eh, eh, but
And
I
who's
do
doing the
I
training? The
but
2-year old?
Hey
yeah,
man,
but
wait. Did you
I
say
must say,
there's 33-year-old grandmothers? You know the
There
math
are.
don't
I've
often
Hey,
seen
permit.
that.
hey,
I've seen
I
that. And the
hey,
two
I do
year
one.
old was doing the
wow.
training.
That's right.
Okay. And that's a scary
Wow.
situation,
That's
right?
right.
Great grandma was 50.
But when Momo, where did you go on Sundays after church?
Church.
After
Grandma
To
church.
house.
Oh,
sleep, you
after
had to
church
take a
to
nap.
grandma house?
That's
You
right.
had to take a
To
nap.
grandma house,
You
yeah.
went to
After
grandma's
you went
house.
to
And
grandma
then you
house.
went back to church.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Hey,
So
that's right.
so if that's how it was for y'all as kids, this is what I'm trying to get some others, not mainly the panel, right? But this is what I'm trying to, and I'm loving the dialogue. But what I'm trying to get some of the listeners and viewers to also understand is not only if it's good for the goose, but it got to be good for the gander. Where is the where where is the separation? Okay, you Tony, you say you born in 55. My mama born in 55. I'm looking at people that and she's the matriarch of my family. I'm looking at people grow up and like I said, I had the feet to sit at y'all had the feet to sit at. Who's sitting at y'all feet is what now my question is. Are you inviting people to sit at your feet?
Chris,
Are you welcoming individuals to sit at your feet? Is your cup running over that much, or you just don't have no seasoning to
Chris,
attract people to sit at your feet?
well, you know what? They're sitting at our feet right now. They're
They're always
sitting at our
watching.
feet right now.
Always watching. And
Right
that's what
now.
I wanted us to,
They're,
that's
they're, they're, they're
exactly what
listening
I
to
want
us.
us to see.
They are listening
Always
to us
watching.
Now,
right
are we
now.
walking the walk for them to want to emulate us?
That's right.
That's the question.
We're
I have a
teaching.
I have a 7-year-old grandson who at 2 was sweeping the floor like a man. At 2, he could handle the broom just like I did because he watched me.
Right. Right.
So, are we living a life worth emulating? That's the question.
I totally agree.
yeah,
I
yeah. I
totally
mean,
agree.
I think we answered. I think for some of us, we can answer that in the macro that we are. But as I say, when I begin to equate the Beaumont that I see today with the Beaumont that I grew up in, I'm not looking for the same things, but I am saying something as significant as when I was 16, I was looking forward to my 16th birthday, as opposed to young kids now not even knowing if they will make it. And that is a very common part of their growing up. And I'm saying, don't tell me about city council. That's our community. And a lot of what our kids saw us do in our community for their benefit was to strive for something better. But what we described as better was temporal. It was really what the Bible said. It was temporal. And so now we're trying to get our kids to come back to a foundation that for the whole of us, not for some of us, but for the whole of us, we have not created. It pains me that I grew up not far from Magnolia Park.
This one, or
Tony,
you
I
want to
remember when
what
y'all
you
hung
talking
out
about?
at the park. I remember when Bobby Armstrong and all of the coaches
Huh?
was over there at the park. I remember when
You want this
Magnolia
one?
Park had at least a little zoo, and they had a tiger at the zoo in Beaumont, Texas. And I'm just saying, how is it that our kids ain't even close? I ain't saying bring the tiger back to Magnolia Park, but hell, we are down Magnolia Park before anybody. Ooh man, it's too dangerous to go to Magnolia Park. And I just say that just coming into the city. Man, what's going on in Magnolia Park? Man, don't go around there. And these the folk that hung out there, and I'm saying we didn't have the responsibility to keep it going. Not the
Absolutely.
city, us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Us.
viewing, Miss Wilmaretta Lowe. Thank you for watching and listening. She have a few comments. She did say we all are, Tony. She said also we will be if we don't get to the ballot box. We will definitely be in a bad situation if we don't get to the ballot box. And she also said that they don't believe what is being said, and I'm sure she was
We're
talking
talking about the
about
children
the
today.
youth,
She
the
talking about the
youth.
children today.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't believe. But you know,
I mean,
but Perry says something that draw my attention, and this is something we must all agree to,
uh,
that it takes today for a child to have a strong foundation. He's got to have Christ in their life today more than he ever needs. Because if a child can go to the left or to the right, he can he can fall off here and fall off there, and he can always bounce back if he had a foundation. If he grew up in the
Mm-hmm.
foundation,
Mhm.
if he ain't got a foundation, he's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. It will never recover. But we have to have a foundation. I'm gonna tell you something. As wild and loose I was growing up, I had a foundation.
Mhm.
yeah,
And
Right.
I met a man in the sixth grade. That was my sixth grade teacher, that who had became my pastor. And I ain't talking about that Perry Busby on the screen. I'm talking about the Reverend Perry Busby.
yes, sir.
And that was something that that he put his arms around me and wrapped me around my head and said, "Come on." And one time I thought I was preaching. But anyway, but it was just a foundation. I just had to make a joke out of it, but it was the foundation that we all children need. Every family need a foundation, and they got to have Christ in their life to grow up with that foundation, the teaching of Christ that was going to save them later on. I look back, we used to laugh at people that they jumping up and clowning and jumping up and getting happy in church. And we thought it was funny. Every Sunday I look for who's going to jump first. But hey, today I'm jumping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Miss Wilmaretta Lowe said that's so true, Tony. Our children don't have a foundation.
No, they don't have
Yeah.
foundation.
Yeah. But
No.
but Chris, I think you said something that is so true, and I think that us as elders have to really take it, no matter how painful it may sound. But what you said is so true. Is how many children are we gathering at our feet? We shouldn't be waiting for the children to come to our feet. We should be gathering. And it is. I mean, Tony says my daddy wrapped him around his head. That means he brought him with him. But
Yeah.
how many of our adults are really bringing some
Yeah,
kids in? I mean,
yeah,
not with an ulterior motive. I mean, we love coaches, but and we love the drill instructors, but we got to a point where parents look for other outlets to raise their kids. And whether or not that was all based on economics, because mama had to work two jobs in order to get things. I mean, these are the soft crumblings of our community that I'm not saying we have to make it back like it was, but we do have to prepare them for their new norm. And what we can't do is fuss and bicker over the way it no longer is.
Hmm.
I'm trying to listen to young people to understand what moves them, such that I can give them wisdom that they can use to apply it in their ways. I don't need them to do it like I did. They need to understand that they can do. Because just like you said, in Reconstruction, I think we still have the same kind of people that we had in Reconstruction. Those who are looking to take advantage of the time and saying, I better shore up, I better educate myself. I mean, that was a big debate over Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. But at the end of the day, remember, we had some folk coming out of slavery who had no idea what a future looked like. And we still have the Negroes with us today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're at an hour and 15 minutes, y'all. I really enjoyed this conversation. I did not know that time had went by us that fast. I do appreciate you all listening. Before we close out our show this evening, I definitely want our co-hosts to give us at least something to carry us throughout the rest of the week. You know how I do, ladies first. Dr. Catherine Campbell, give us something that's gonna carry us for the rest of the week.
Live a life worth emulating. You know, the children are always watching. My grandson told me just the other day, honey, why is that man cutting our grass? Because I raised him cutting our grass. We were cutting our grass together. He and I were cutting the grass together. He said, why that man cutting the grass? I said, honey, can't do it no more, you know? He said, but honey, I can do it. He's 7. My grandson is 7.
That's how you do
Those
it.
are words that a 15-year-old ought to be saying to me. But he is 7, and he said, honey, I can do it. So apparently I've lived a life before him that's worth emulating. He's enjoying the things that I'm introducing him to. A man needs to be introduced to as much as possible so that he can know different things to do besides keeping his hands all over a woman. He can show
Exactly.
her something, right?
Right.
So again, that's my point for tonight. Live a life worth emulating.
Absolutely. Co-host Perry Busby, give us something for that's gonna carry us out for the rest of the week.
Well, you know us Aries, and since it's we're a few hours from your birthday, and
Absolutely.
and 20 and plus 24 for mine. But the one thing I want to leave us with is let's be amazing with intention.
Yeah.
We can accomplish the amazing if we just decide to do it. So I just want to encourage you. If you desire, you'll be amazed at what you will accomplish. So let's be amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
I'm sorry, I
Awesome.
got one
Awesome.
more thing. Please.
What's that, Miss Cat?
Let's learn how to wait for something. You know, Perry said earlier today, we waited for our 16th birthday, right? You know, right now, I can remember my mother saying, I said, well, Mama, I want to wear makeup. She said, wait until you're 16, right? And I snuck and I did it before I was 16. And guess what? When I got 16, I didn't want to wear the makeup. Yeah, because I figured there were some downsides to wearing that makeup, right? So now today I still don't wear the makeup from me sneaking and wearing it before I was 16, right? You see kids right now walking around with color in their hair at 6. Really? Make them wait for something, right? And then at least they'll want it later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dustin, give us something that's gonna carry us up through the week.
If you feel like your life ain't, going the way you need to, every branch of the military has raised their age limit to at least 35. So if that first shot at life didn't work out, hey, you still got a chance. And hey, you need firefighters. The Air Force will teach you how to be a firefighter. Go and do them 2-4 years you need to, and go on find a regular job if you want to. But
Yeah, come back home and be a regular firefighter if you like. Or
exactly.
the military giving sign-on bonuses for MPs. That's military police for those
I
that
ain't
don't
doing
know.
that. I ain't encouraging nobody
And
to
you
do
could
that.
you could definitely come back.
Ain't gonna put
You
that on
could
my
definitely
resume. Nope.
Tony, man, give us something that's gonna carry us out for the rest of the week.
When we talk about the foundation, I want to leave you guys with Jeremiah 17.
We can't hear you, man. Bring your mic on.
The Family Dollar, Mike.
Yeah.
You hear me
Dollar
now?
Store Mike. Yeah, we hear you with your Dollar Tree mic.
Okay. I'm not at home. I'm out of town. I have a mic. Anyway, I'm going to read from Jeremiah 17:7.
Turn the music down a little bit then.
He back in his K-Jet days. He went all the way
He
back
on that
to K-Jet.
73 curve. Oh no, that 124 straight.
Super here, 1980, KJ. You think I know that? But I'm going to read you guys, and I want to leave you guys with this on Jeremiah 17:7. The blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. He will be like a tree planted by the waters that sends out the roots by the stream. He does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. He has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit. And I'm bringing that to you guys because we talked about building a foundation.
Is that the New International Version?
That's the New International Version.
Miss Cat looked at you like, bring me KJV next time. You got 3 PKs on here. You got 3 PKs on here, and I was like, I heard this story before.
No, you know what? I got it as soon as he started, but I'm like, that ain't what we know.
Right.
No, and you know what? That's amazing, Cap, because there are some verses. I read NIV all the time, but it's just some verses. As they say, give me that old King Jimmy. I got to give that old King Jimmy.
Yes. Nothing like it.
I read both of them, but when I'm passing, when I want to make it simple for those that never read the King James Version, so they know what I'm talking about.
Oh, well, baby, y'all need to go ahead and get this Gen Z Bible. That Bible? Oh, my goodness. I was like, no, this is blasphemous.
I know one thing. I know what Cat was brought up in.
Yeah.
That's right.
What is that in Psalms? What is that in Psalms when it says gathering up your packets? And so, that'll throw folk off right quick.
So, Tony, when you breaking us off like that, you need to clarify before you start. New NIV version, okay?
Right. I saw your eyes looking at you.
Oh no, I was ready. Yeah. Okay, I was ready. I knew where you were. Okay, when you said the scripture, but you need to clarify for everybody else. All right.
Oh man,
I have Bible study with you.
So I definitely want to thank everybody. See, I was trying to get it up before she started. I definitely want to thank everybody for chopping it up with us on this evening. Thank you, Tony, again for allowing us to be on your podcast with the Roundtable Talk. Tune in with us every Tuesday of the month. Or the every Tuesday of the month. We'll be definitely tackling and conversing on all types of things. I did this evening. I was able to meet and eat, which is something me and Miss Cat love to do. And I think Dustin likes to meet and eat too, because the last show last week he was back there chewing down too. So I pushed my luck. What I definitely want to leave us with for the rest of the week is, again, like I always say, stay prayed up, and remember to gather yourselves at the feet of somebody that knows more, that knows better, and knows different. There's nothing wrong with learning something different, regardless to how young or how old you may be. Y'all have a good night. God bless y'all. Thanks again, Tony.